Welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. If you surveyed the media and legal elites who are following this Trump felony trial, most expected a pretty quick verdict today for former President Trump, and a guilty verdict at that. I was actually sent to the courthouse in Lower Manhattan earlier today just in case that happened, and although Judge Juan Merchan did essentially everything in his power to ensure that outcome, it still seemed plausible that this trial implausible, I should say, that this trial didn't have at least a few level-headed jurors who could see just how obvious this political charade has become. Plainly put, the people that are doing this have just gone too far. They have jumped the shark, as they say. The establishment sending the number 3 man at DOJ to New York to help throw Trump in prison for the bookkeeping equivalent of a parking ticket is frankly outrageous. You think there's got to be some people on this jury that can see that. And the polls indicate millions of people, including most independent voters, agree with that analysis. Earlier today, I spoke to a New Yorker who says he did not vote for Trump in 2020 or 2016, but he showed up today at court, which is just a few blocks from his Lower Manhattan apartment, to observe this political hit job for himself. Take a listen.
I think it's a little ridiculous that in a city where you won't lock up a common criminal, you're going to put a guy who's running for president through all this all this crap where, months before he's running for president, it just so happened to occur to you that maybe he committed some crimes. I didn't vote for him the past 2 elections, I'll be honest. And when I say I'm a supporter, I'm somebody who doesn't support every single thing he says or even does. But at this point, they got me to a place where I will pull the lever for this guy because, what they're doing to him is disgusting, and I think the person we have in office right now is incompetent.
They've taken it too far to where they've awakened independent minds like yourself.
Sure, I think this backfired on them completely because, I think they're kind of crapping their pants a little bit because this has made him more appealing to someone like me, and even people who I talk to on a daily basis who may not even like him as a person, but the idea of him being perhaps thrown in jail would be crazy. Like, what kind of country is this?
There's a lot of people outside of that courthouse. They're not all just full-on MAGA. There's a lot of independent voters. And right there, that is what they did not expect. But the Biden camp should have known. You can't run this country into the ground intentionally for 3.5 years, earn the worst approval rating in American history, and then expect a politicized legal assault to carry the nearly lifeless body of your candidate across the finish line in November. The American people won't stand for this. Had Biden actually run the country well, had he actually helped unite Americans and had sensible legislation rather than divide us and tear us apart and tear the country apart, well, the scheme that they're pushing right now, this obvious legal scheme, it might have worked. But that's not what they did. Instead, they spent 3 years dividing the country, race baiting, sicking the DOJ on conservatives, coordinating a vast legal assault on a former president, and then to add insult to injury, he sent his campaign out to mock Trump while he suffered under their coordinated legal assault, making T-shirts mocking his only weekday free from trial. This is what the campaign is doing in this moment. Free on Wednesdays as a T-shirt that they're selling. It ticks people off. It ticks regular people off, not just partisans, normal people. They see what this is. And then yesterday, the Biden campaign actually arrived outside of Trump's courthouse. The Biden election campaign holding a press conference using a washed-up actor as their manic TDS frontman. Take a listen.
I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that.
They're idiots. I mean, nobody buys into this. Nobody buys into their lunacy. You're watching a collection of idiots on TV. It doesn't work on the people that they need to convince, and they need to convince a lot of people right now. Look at the poll numbers. That kind of nonsense, protecting democracy, hasn't worked at all. It's only further convincing a support base that they already have. The 40 or 50 million people that are going to vote for Joe Biden no matter what happens. The middle is not only ignoring this, it's actually waking them up. When Trump was indicted, his numbers went up. It's exactly the opposite of what was supposed to happen. When he got to trial and all this evidence came out, his numbers went up. At this point, it seems that a conviction could very well be baked in to these numbers. As Trump said earlier today, Mother Teresa can't beat these charges. Don't expect a conviction, a possible conviction, to move the needle all that much at all. Maybe it won't help him, but it's hard to imagine that it's going to hurt him. It's too predictable. It's too obviously political. Earlier today, I had a chance to speak to an English woman outside the courthouse, a retired British attorney who hates Trump and considers herself very educated on American politics. I wanted to let this breathe a little. I'm going to play it out for you. Take a listen.
Do you think this is justified?
The trial? Yeah. Yes.
Very liberal people, even in media, that have made it, like Fareed Zakaria on CNN, have said that it's obvious that this case would have never been brought if this man was not trying to run this country. You disagree with that?
I completely disagree.
Southern District in New York didn't want to take it. Nobody wanted to take this case. Alvin Bragg's predecessor did not want to take this case.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they take it.
So they had a different point of view. So I think when people commit crimes, then they have to be looked into.
They've waited all of this time to launch all this nonsense right now.
Yeah, but
all of these are colliding at the same time just before the election.
And
you don't think that's funny?
Why are they colliding? Could it be delay?
Could it be political?
We had a good conversation. So what's more likely in your mind, that a man who's been alive for, 77, 78 years, had no legal trouble, was delaying legal issues that finally came to him after he got into politics, and finds that his legal team has run out of avenues for those delays, 6 different criminal and civil cases? They run out of all the delay avenues all at the same time, right during election season? Is that what you think happened, or has this all been timed to prevent his chances of being elected again? It doesn't take rocket science to figure this out. We continued with Jackie from the UK, the attorney, based on her belief that this Trump trial is credible because if there's criminal behavior, it must be investigated.
The crimes they're alleging here of Trump are parking tickets compared to what the evidence shows the Biden family has been engaged in for the last 15 years.
I think they're parking tickets when you think about all those documents that went missing and are sat at Mar-a-Lago, probably some of them still.
You know how many boxes of documents Joe Biden has had? That he actually stole from his skiff?
He didn't.
Yeah, he would have had to if he was in the Senate. You can't take classified documents in the Senate. Now, President can. I'm just trying to inform you because you're only watching CNN.
I'm not only watching CNN.
I think you might be.
You're wrong. No, I watch MSNBC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moments like those, why it's fun to get out on the streets, of course. We also, enlightened her on the millions that the Biden family has brought in through influence peddling, shady adversarial nations. We let her know about all the proof of money laundering that's irrefutable, all those shell companies designed to conceal the source, conceal the destination of the millions of dollars from China. She had no idea, or at least she played dumb. I don't know which one it was. But we should engage more with the other side in this manner. You'll be shocked what they don't know because their media refuses to tell them all of these things.